Just within this year alone, I've given no less than 3 presentations on 5G. And every time, it's almost the same material because it is true, but it is that every time I give the presentation, we make humongous progress towards the realizations of this very important visions. So today I'm going to give you an update again, hopefully that it will create confidence and also let you know that what we're doing here in Taiwan and the rest of the world. Okay, we believe that 5G, the future of the world in 5G is a world where everything is connected. And it's not just that. A very key notion of everything is connected must be also that it is intelligently connected. They are all collaborated, they are all talking to each other, making wise and right and timely decisions so that our progress in business or our intelligence will progress together with the technology. In the center of all these collaborations and connectivity is something we call the 5G technology. 5G in the world of the future, in time to come, will be able to provide you ultra super fast broadband. It will give you a very short latency in terms of data communication, and therefore it can support very mission critical services. Many of them we might not even know today. And because of the scalability of the bandwidth, it will support massive IoTs. Everything we talk about, Internet of Things, things connecting to each other, talking to each other, will all be connected and made possible through 5G. But 5G is actually a very powerful unifying platform that will enhance connectivity, it will enhance intellectual intelligence and services and so on and so forth. And this services, this experience is coming very, very soon. Now, maybe 2 years ago, there's a lot of talks, a lot of presentation, a lot of simulations. But today you'll hear that it is becoming a reality. And it's going to happen a lot sooner in many, many places of the world than you can imagine. So, in 5G, we think it's going to be a disruptive technology. It's going to change things all over again, just like 4G would, just like smartphone would, just like social network would. 5G will be disruptive. The industry and the business that 5G will touch will range from healthcare to automotive to manufacturing to everything you can possibly imagine. And I used to tell people that 5G is no longer just a communication technology. It is a communication technology that will push and enhance our imagination and our creativity in starting, dreaming, visionizing a lot of new business case and business and services and so on and so forth. It will touch on so many things that through many forecasts and simulation, we believe that by the year of 2035, 5G will bring about, directly or indirectly, more than $12 trillion worth of economy. And it will drive more than 22 million new jobs. This is how big that 5G concept is. And it's not just a technology. It's going to revolutionize, we think about things, we do things, and so on and so forth. So, if we look at this lady here, I'll call her Susan. Now, mobile platform is probably the most prevalent platforms in the world since wheels was invented, that you see in motor cars and all that. Mobile platforms in the form of smartphones, in the forms of connected devices have changed our way of living, the way we make decisions, the way we interact, the way we entertain ourselves forever. Now when 5G comes along, all these will be changed again. This is how pervasive it's going to be. It's going to be able to deliver to you ultra high definition video. It's going to give you services on interconnectivity and social networking instantaneously. It's going to let you share experiences just like what we said just now. Like if you're in a stadium or in a concert and your friends and family could not attend, you can live stream all these things. And through XR, you can enjoy it. Through VR, you can enjoy it tremendously, just like you would be there. 5G will be the integral part of our daily lives. It's going to be everything we touch, everything we do, and everything we think about and before we even take actions, through the intelligence of it, things could have happened just because we were thinking about that. I like to use this example of Susan. Now, this example was used one time during the Computex, because this example will show you that 5G is more than a technology, but it is an enabling capability that will enable many, many things and industries that we haven't even thought about. Just imagine Susan, what she's wearing, the beautiful dress she's wearing. We're going to walk down the journey of how that beautiful dress is made from raw material to design and so on and so forth. In today's world, if you think about, this is a cotton field in somewhere in America or in whatever they create or harvest cotton. In a normal agriculture situation today, go back again. In a normal agriculture field today, the area of the farm is probably above 400 acres on average. It is like 238 football fields put together. Big, it's very big. We believe the future of farmlands is going to be significantly smaller, but they'll be significantly more efficient. Because these fields and the tools and the machines that work on these fields will be full of monitors, sensors, cameras, hooked up together through a fabric of 5Gs and other IoT devices through intelligence network, and you'll be able to tell which section of your field needs any specific type of attention. For instance, a certain portion of your field maybe is ready or ripe for harvesting. The other portion of your field might need certain watering or nourishing and so on and so forth. And these things will be connected together through sensors, monitors, so that you can, through autonomous machines, like the harvesting machines here on the slide, these machines will go to the field and harvest these things. And then they will be stored in silos. Silos are these big storerooms that you store crops and harvest. And even inside these silos, you have monitor sensors that will intelligently make decisions to keep the climate control accurate and healthy for these crops so they don't go, rotten and all that. All these things done automatically, autonomously, through intelligence. And that will free up time for our farmers to be engaged in more productive things like investing in the stock market, looking out for new business opportunity and all that. Just that very notion, the fact that your farmers is now not plotting or plowing the land, the machines is doing all that, but he or she is now looking at other opportunities, create another avenue of economic growth. Those are the indirect economic growth that will come because of the convenience brought by 5G. Imagine the crops now ready and to be made into raw material, shipped to the port with a lot of containers, and these containers at this port is operated under a private 5G network. And the private 5G network is supported by a whole army of monitors, sensor cameras in all the containers, in all the trucks and transport routes and all. These intelligence services will again make decisions based on the best route, the most efficient path for these materials to be shipped, to be loaded onto ships and so on and so forth. Making the port super efficient. And then maybe the port of the future can be smaller and faster as well. Now imagine the material on Susan's dress now make its way to the receiving port. And trucks, I come from Singapore. We have one of the biggest container ports in the world. You have all these trucks that line up and queue up to collect goods. Now imagine the future of 5G. These trucks will line up and collect goods exactly at the right time and the right place with the right capacity, with the load that you can take this material and then send them on the way to the final destination. And as the truckers drive from the port to the final destination, his or her trucks are automatically driving itself, communicating with other trucks, communicating through the traffic system. So these trucks will take the fastest, most efficient way from the port to the final destination. And guess what the drivers will do? Well, he or she can learn new things through open universities, through educations in the cabin, talking to their boyfriends or girlfriends or with their families, or engage in new businesses. And that itself free up the time for intelligent human beings to be engaged in other economic generating activities. Okay, so the truckers drive near to the city and they reach, let's say, Taipei city at twilight. These trucks will automatically be connected to the city infrastructure where the entire city or the main thoroughfare of the cities are connected through intelligent 5G networks that the traffic lights will be talking to the car will be talking to the other cars with pedestrians and so on and so forth. The so-called cellular vehicle to X communication. And or in the traffic system when the pedestrian is about to cross the road, the trucks will know that, oh, this guy is coming along, we'll make a right turn here through ADAS. All these things are made possible because of the unified nature, the way the standard of 5G is being invented and being put together today. And guess what? The material, the cloth that Susan's wearing on her dress will now make it to the final destination a lot faster, a lot more almost seamless, free up a lot of people doing other things. That's not the end of it. Imagine today, the dress has to be made, the dress has to be designed, and the collaboration that's enabled by 5G is now making it possible for all the best brains in the world, best designers of the world, with intelligence, with knowledge, and with experiences gathered throughout the world to be collaborating in designing the dress. So instantaneously, through XR, through VR, the designer can visualize the ideas that has been brought up by people in Milan, designers in Hong Kong, new ideas from Taipei, and immediately collaborated. So great designs are made and finalized within a very short period of time, rather than what it used to be in weeks and weeks and weeks. Now, very, very quickly, can be customized, and it also brought into the collaboration of a global talent pool. And then finally, the design will go to the factory. Guess what? In the factories, all these machines, they will be connected through sensors and monitors and through 5G network. Machines will be running seamlessly. Before the machine can break down, the intelligent network would have alerted the technicians who will be wearing an XR, going to the machines, and know exactly what to do to prevent the machine from breaking down. Customized design will be made instantaneously, and it will be sent out to the shop. Finally, it gets to the shop. Susan is trying to get the best dress she can to attend this event. It could be a prom, it could be a concert. She goes along to this shop, and then voila, she'll be able to simulate herself wearing different designs, different sizes, and so on and so forth, and then communicate with her friends through social network with very short latency, very quickly. Her friend will be able to tell her, this is the right color, this fits you, and so on and so forth. And she'll attempt to buy the dress. Just like all teenagers, they'll try to buy the dress using her father's credit cards. Okay, so the credit card company is very smart too. Using the 5G technologies, you'll be using a 3D, scanning technologies to make sure that this card belongs to the right person. It was rejected, but guess what? Susan convinced her father to approve the transaction. Voila, she got the dress. She goes to the concert, and then in the concert, there were hundreds and hundreds of people enjoying the concert, but live streaming it. 5G have the network. I have 1 minute left, so I have 5 more slides, so I'm going to be really, really quick. Susan will go to this concert and live streaming everything. Hundreds of people will be live streaming things to their friends and relatives and colleagues that are not attending this concert. So let me pause for a while and say that, do you believe me? You're saying all these things, are they going to happen? Well, it will happen. It is already happening. With 5G technologies, with the broadband, with the enhanced high-speed broadband, with the bandwidth it's providing and the low latency, a lot of these things are connected directly through the network to the cloud. Instantaneously, very, very quick. But at the same time, because of the artificial intelligence that's been created, a lot of this intelligence can be distributed to the edge, meaning not necessarily in the cloud, but nearer to the events where things happen. Data and sensor will send signals and data to this edge computing, and they'll make instantaneous decisions. That is why we believe that edge computing is a very important aspect and element of the entire 5G networks. And it will free up networks to the data to the clouds where more intensive analysis can happen. So we also say that we got to convince everybody, including ourselves, this is real. So in NWC this year, we've done we reported that we've done a realistic real-life simulation in 2 cities. One in Frankfurt and one in San Francisco. One using sub-6, the other using millimeter wave. And this is the result we have achieved. And we were lucky enough that during Computex, we also have the same simulation shown here. So 5G and the technologies behind it is happening, it is true, it is real, and it is happening today. Now Qualcomm, as you know, is a strong leader and a strong supporters of the 5G technologies through many standardizations efforts in 3GPP. This is the timeline that you probably know very well. But the more important things I want to share with you is that 2018, we have started trials with more than 18 operators, key operators in the world, throughout the world. And then about 20 OEMs and ODMs have started collaborating with us using the X60 platforms that we announced back in 2016. So in 2016, we announced the first 5G modem, the X50. In 2017, we made the first 5G calls on the X50. In 2017 December, the first draft of the new radio standard was released. And in 2018, right now, we're doing trials, and I'm very glad to tell you, even our 5G lab, and we've just set up a 5G test and optimization lab here in Taipei in our office. We have already made the first 5G millimeter wave and sub-6 calls over the last 2 weeks. Those are infrastructures that Qualcomm is investing and is doing, and it will support our Taiwan industries right now. And of the 20 ODM and OEM people who work with us and choose the X50 as the first platform, 4 of them are Taiwanese companies. This is how we think Taiwan can play an extremely important role, and Qualcomm is here to support that. Okay, this is my last slide. And what I want to tell you is that a lot of these things that you heard me saying today is true, and that you have heard it multiple times. You have heard it multiple times because it is true, and it's becoming more true now because it's become a reality. I think that 5G and the possibility 5G can bring is not just about technology, but it is about what the technology can bring in business cases, in new ideas, in new services, and new companies. And this is why it is so powerful. People that are making dress are now thinking about technologies. People who are cropping and harvesting farmland are thinking about 5Gs now. So there are all these roles that we in Taiwan can play, all these equipments that need to support these new ideas will come from many, many of our partners here in Taiwan. And it will happen, but it will happen over the next few years. It is big, it's going to touch many facets of our life, it will happen over time, and a lot of these new ideas and new concepts and new services we haven't even thought about. So with that, I want to thank you very much for your time, and I bid you farewell now, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
谢谢，非常谢谢总裁。接着。